witness the penultimate match in round 3 of the Jamaica Civil Service Association's high schools debate competition for 2025. Just now, we saw two teams go up against each other. Campion College going up against St. George's College. Now, just for the benefit of just to refresh your minds, I'm going to once again read the motion. The motion reads, this House as a trade union would prioritize ratifying and implementing C-190 over advocating for high wages. So, what did we get from this? What did we get from this debate? It's important to note as well that the results of this match were actually not unanimous. The panel could not unanimously agree on who the winner of this match is. Therefore, as I said before, it would come down to a split decision wherein the majority of the panel would have felt that one team won this debate. And so indicating to you the quality of this match, the winning teams ends on a staggering 284 points. The team not advancing will do so on 277 points. And so, what did we hear from this debate? Well, we heard a lot of analysis coming up. We heard about the idea that C-190 as existing status quo is very important, and we need to implement it and do so because the conventions that exist right now simply don't go far enough. We hear that C-189 exists, yes, and that the Sexual Harassment Act exists, yes, but C-190 does something a little bit more than either of those acts, and that's a reason why we need to implement it. We hear, however, from the team on opposition that no, what we actually need to do is raise wages. They tell us that the wages are so low right now that it doesn't matter what you do in terms of C-190. The average person is not going to care about C-190 when they're starving and when they're hungry. Then we get this deep level of analysis coming out. See, Team Campion tells us that there are three reasons why it's better for us to implement C-190. They tell us that one, it's more likely that C-190 is going to succeed than wage negotiations. They tell us that, well, C-190 is more likely to succeed because we've already done 189 and there are international conventions that exist to push us to want to implement this, and that there are actionable and real mechanisms that exist to want to implement this. And it's not likely that we're going to get wage increases because there are private actors actively lobbying against wage increases, not so much on C-190. So St. George's, on the other hand, tells us that functionally what's going to happen is that individuals are not going to care about C-190 because their jobs are at risk. They don't have enough money because of where we are right now with a lack of wages to want to implement C-190. They tell us that if we increase wages, what's going to happen is that individuals are going to become more empowered, and that empowerment St. George's contends is what's going to actually allow them to, one, eat and survive and not starve to death, but two, be more comfortable and confident in their decisions to use the frameworks that already exist, C-189 and the Sexual Harassment Act, and use the mechanisms that already exist to report instances of sexual violence or workplace discrimination or any of the things that C-190 tells us are really bad and we should have mechanisms to stop. They tell us that if we give people enough money, they will be emboldened to do it without C-190. See, Team Campion College tells us, and the judges kind of split a little bit on this, on how much of this idea is permissible. What Team Campion tells us, they'll well know, because what's going to happen is that the marginal increases that you're going to be getting from wages is not going to be sufficient enough to allow anybody to feel empowered. They gave us a nominal figure. They say, well, if it's $16,000 that exists right now and you raise it to $20,000, that's never going to be enough for somebody to feel empowered and strong enough to get up and say, I am going to report my boss, even at risk of whatever it is. They said the campaign says it doesn't solve for that. And so we got a lot of beautiful and interesting ideas flowing back and forth throughout the debate, a lot of which we simply haven't gotten the opportunity to discuss with you via formal oral adjudication because we are constrained for time. But we did weigh all of these things into consideration, weighing as well the quality of the speeches, the quality of the different peers of cross-examination. And so, after all of that, the judges decided that the team that won this match And the team that will be moving on via automatic qualification to the quarterfinals of this competition. Bam, bam, bam. Is between these two teams. And I love if it is possible for all the teams at this point in time to unmute the mics for the call. The winning team of this match is the team in Proposition Campion College. Congratulations, Campion College. It is not an easy feat to split a panel of judges. A panel of judges that consists of Jermaine, Calicia, and myself. It is not an easy feat to split that panel, and so St. George's College. Congratulations to you. Even though you don't automatically advance, you definitely played well. The best debater from this round comes to us from St. George's College, actually. And that was their second speaker, Javon Hamilton. Oh, Javon, what a brilliant, brilliant speech you've done. You should be very proud of yourself. And so, ladies and gentlemen, once more, your winners of this match and the team that will be automatically advancing to the next round of competition, Campion College. At this point in time, I'd love if the teams could unmute their mics and in the spirit of sportsmanship, exchange some kind words.
Congratulations, that was an amazing match. Thank you.
Congratulations, it was a very good and amazing match. I really enjoyed that. So props to you all.
Okay. Congratulations as well to the team Proposition. That was an amazing match as well, I have to say.
Congratulations to you guys as well. That was incredibly challenging. You guys came with some really good speeches.
Indeed. Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, that ends this match. Join us in just a few minutes where we will see the last two teams vying for the last quarterfinal spot. That is Wilmer's Boys School and Manning School. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your day.